Good evening and welcome to Body Bags. My name's James and I'm your Sunday night reviewer, and this evening I've chosen to cover a film that's just come onto Netflix. I live in Finland, so this has just popped up on the Finnish Netflix, so I don't know if it's popping up in other parts of the world. I'm guessing it will do. But the movie that I'm talking about, sorry about the pronunciation, I'm not 100% sure. It's either The Mouse or The Morse. Sorry, I've got some notes written down here. This was a great, solid film, and I actually made loads of notes because I was just loads of little bits popping up all the time. But I'll try to truncate them down and make this a not too sizable review. But anyway, getting into the film, so we follow a couple, uh, a German guy and a Bosniak, which is a Bosnian Muslim woman. And like I said, they're a couple, and they get stranded in the woods. Um, I should have pointed out where this is in the world. This is a European film, and it's around like Serbia, like where this is. But anyway, this film it has a very strong political driver, which is the Bosnian genocide that happened within the mid 90s, where there was the rape, torture, beating, robbery, and ultimately death of around 8,000 Bosnian Muslims at the hands of the Bosnian Serbs. That, like I said, this was termed the Bosnian genocide, and rather horrific event that happened in the mid 90s. So that's the driving undertone of this film. Um, so when this couple they're caught in the woods, they get stranded in the woods. They come across two Serbs, and the woman has obvious distrust because we find out that she lost her family members to this genocide. And the boyfriend doesn't really get all this, being German. He's like, oh, these people will help us, and she does not trust them at all. She has an amulet with her, Ya Hafazu, and this amulet, it's a strange thing. It it doesn't kind of black and white kind of spell out what it does, but from what I can tell, it shows the potential evil in what people can do. So, how this film goes, there's certain events which happen, and there's like these trigger events that change how the film is. So it's like a almost possible reality of what's going on, but it's not actual reality. This happens 3 or 4 times, I think, during the film, and then something pops you back into the actual reality. It's a little whoa. It's a little disrupting, and you're like kind of losing the thread of what's going on to start with, but then you kind of understand what's happening, and it's very solid way to do it. And obviously some of the scenes are quite shocking. It's I don't mean shocking like gore, but when you link what the context of the film is to what's been shown on screen and her fears, and then what these two people are threatening to do or start to do, it's pretty horrific. Yeah, it's this is quite heavy film. It does play on your mind. I've been thinking about it quite a lot since it's finished, and although this is not to trivialize the content, obviously this is a fictional film, that they did such a solid job of this. It's like it's done superbly well. But anyway, that's kind of the kind of the gist of the film. From a technical point of view, the cinematography on this is beautifully done. Everything is really long, accentuated, sort of like long shots. It's there's hardly panning backwards and forwards. It's like, I can't remember reading somewhere. It's like, was it like 4, 5, 6 seconds or something? That is like the average length of a shot in a film. These these ones, it's like, especially the first part, the first third of the film, they've got to be like a minute or two each, and it's beautifully filmed how they do it. So you'll be following a character. They'll be in discussion with someone else. They're walking around. The camera's following them. It's getting all these interesting angles, and how it follows them is very cool. It's not just face on. It like stops and pans, rotates, and then, for example, someone's walking to the car. Then they're speaking with one of the other characters in the film. Then that character comes off screen. They continue the conversation. You hear through ambient noise that they're getting into the car, and then it will kind of pan around. The other person gets into the car, and then we see that character, and then it will lock onto them instead. And it how it fades between like the crispness, and then you have like these blurred sections where you're kind of waiting for something to happen on screen or someone else to come into the screen. The focus isn't on the person that is in the screen at the moment, so it becomes soft focus, then blurs, and then locks onto something else over a period of time. It's beautifully done. Apologise for not using the correct technical terms here. I didn't go to film school or anything like that. This is just a personal thing that I've just enjoyed, and like I said, it looks stunning. And the use of ambient noise, I think for the first third of the film there is no music or anything, and when the music comes in, you have this kind of haunting kind of score that kind of becomes the ambient noise in the possible reality. So it's more than ambient noise, it's like trigger events, and how it's done. Like this film technically is beautifully shot, and the sound, and it's so solid, and then the acting is faultless. It really is. It's I must admit, I recognise the guy from something. I can't quite place him, but the other people in the film, I've not seen those before. No, not that I'm aware of. And they are so solid. The main character of Selma, the kind of pain that she's going through, it's so honest, and how you see that in her. It's like she's just so believable, and then the kind of the harsh depravity of these Serbs. They did a fantastic job as well, because it couldn't be easy for them either to act like that. And like I said, the whole film, it's a high. I think this is actually my number one film so far of 2018. It's so solid. It's so entertaining. I will definitely be watching it again soon. It's kind of slow paced, but there's so much to watch and listen to and pay attention to. And when things happen that it just you're not expecting them, it really pulls that focus in even stronger. And yeah, some of the sets, because like you're in the forest for a large period of time, but then they go into like this underground like cavern kind of, almost like a mine sort of thing, and how they film the scenes in there, and how it flips between the reality and possible realities. It's done so well. I couldn't recommend this highly enough. I'm just gonna have a quick look at my notes again. I just don't want to miss anything out. No, I think that's actually everything. Yeah, I'm quite happy to kind of leave it at that. I don't really want to say too much more about it, because I obviously don't want to throw loads of spoilers in this and give it away, because I think, pretty sure this has got its wide release this year. That it was done in film festivals last year, but it's an actually, I suppose, wide release, counted as 2018 film. Yeah, anyway, This is my review on the Morse or the Mouse. Sorry, again, my pronunciation is not good. Yeah, like you'll see that in the notes I'll write down the name and the director so you can look it up, which I highly recommend that you do. And I'm giving this film a very, very solid 9 out of 10. But anyway, that's the end of the review. Thank you very much, and I will see you all next week. Good night.